Imagine a world where the whispers of the wind and the rustle of the leaves tell the stories of our ancestors. Nature, in its ever changing forms, has played a silent yet powerful role in shaping human history. Join me as we delve into the profound ways climate has influenced our past, guiding civilizations and cultures through time. The climate has shaped human societies long before recorded history. From the fertile lands of the Nile to the harsh deserts of the Sahara, the environment dictated where civilizations could thrive. Ancient Egyptians built grand structures thanks to the annual flooding that enriched their soil, enabling agriculture to flourish. Migration patterns, too, have been influenced by climate conditions. During the last ice age, vast glaciers covered much of the Earth, forcing early humans to adapt, innovate, and seek warmer climates. This led to the spread of communities and cultures across continents. As the climate warmed, the rise of agriculture marked a pivotal shift in human history. The domestication of plants and animals allowed for settled societies to emerge, fostering trade and complex societies. This transition laid the groundwork for the cities we know today. Yet, climate is not always a benevolent force. Throughout history, climate extremes have led to devastating famines and societal collapse. The Little Ice Age in the 14th century caused crop failures in Europe, which resulted in widespread starvation and unrest. Natural disasters, too, have left indelible marks on human history. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and floods have not only destroyed cities, but changed the course of civilizations. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius, for instance, preserved the city of Pompeii, offering us invaluable insights into ancient life. On the flip side, nature has also been a source of inspiration and reverence. Many ancient cultures worshipped natural phenomena, viewing them as gods or spiritual forces. The Greeks and Romans, for example, built temples dedicated to their gods connected with the sun, wind, and earth. The Industrial Revolution marked another significant turning point influenced by climate. As industry grew, so did the exploitation of natural resources. The consequences of this shift are felt today, with climate change stemming from centuries of industrialization impacting our world and future. Interestingly, our relationship with the environment continues to evolve. Throughout history, humans have both adapted and altered their surroundings, illustrating a complex interplay between nature and society. This ongoing dynamic underscores the importance of understanding our past as we face a changing climate today. To understand climate's impact, we must also consider regional variations. The Mesoamerican cultures, for example, thrived in a tropical climate that allowed for year-round agriculture, leading to advanced societies like the Mayans and Aztecs, whose achievements in mathematics and astronomy were remarkable. Conversely, in colder regions like Scandinavia, communities adapted through maritime lifestyles, relying on fishing and trade. Their resilience showcases how human ingenuity has consistently found ways to thrive despite environmental challenges. How we interact with our environment continues to evolve too. The rise of sustainable practices today reflects a growing awareness of our historical relationship with nature. As we draw lessons from the past, we can work towards a harmonious coexistence with our planet. Moreover, the stories we tell about nature and climate shape our cultural narratives. Folklore and myths are often rooted in the environment, reflecting a deep understanding of the natural world. These narratives offer valuable lessons and insights into human experiences across generations. The interplay between climate and history is a testament to our resilience as a species. Every challenge posed by nature has been met with human creativity and perseverance. Ultimately, understanding this relationship can guide us as we navigate the uncertainties of the future. As we reflect on the profound connection between climate and our history, we invite you to ponder how nature will continue to shape our collective future. If you enjoyed this exploration, consider subscribing for more calming historical content. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and nature. The ancient Egyptians thrived thanks to the predictable flooding of the Nile River. This annual event not only provided fertile soil for crops, but also fostered a rich culture that celebrated abundance. As the water receded, it revealed the treasures of the land, shaping their agricultural practices and rituals. Conversely, the unpredictable nature of the environment often led to the rise and fall of civilizations. Droughts, floods, and extreme weather patterns could devastate communities, forcing migrations and altering social structures significantly. The resilience of these societies was tested time and time again. In the Americas, the Maya civilization exemplified a deep understanding of their environment. They meticulously managed water resources and developed advanced agricultural techniques that allowed them to flourish in a challenging climate. This harmony with nature proved essential for their survival. However, even the Maya faced challenges from climate shifts. Prolonged droughts in the 9th century led to food shortages, social unrest, and ultimately, the decline of their once great society. This serves as a reminder of the fragility of human achievements against nature's whims. Across the oceans, the Vikings ventured into Greenland, believing they could farm the land. For a time, they succeeded, but as the climate shifted cooler, their settlements struggled to survive. This clash between ambition and changing weather highlights the precariousness of human endeavors. The Little Ice Age in the 14th century had a profound impact on Europe, leading to crop failures and famines. This period of cooler temperatures forced societies to adapt, showcasing the resilience of human beings as they struggled to cope with the changing climate and its consequences. The Industrial Revolution marked a significant turning point in climate history. The surge in fossil fuel consumption and deforestation began to alter the climate dramatically. This evolution not only transformed landscapes, but also reshaped societies and economies around the globe. As societies industrialized, they often neglected the balance with nature, leading to pollution and degradation. The devastating effects of environmental neglect became painfully clear, prompting movements for conservation and sustainability in the 20th century. Awareness began to grow about the need for balance. In recent decades, climate change has become a central concern for humanity. The evidence is overwhelming, from rising sea levels to extreme weather events. This reality compels us to reconsider our relationship with the planet, urging a shift towards more sustainable practices. Throughout history, human innovation has often been a response to climatic challenges. From the development of irrigation systems to renewable energy technologies, each solution has been inspired by the need to adapt to our environment. This spirit of ingenuity continues to drive progress today. The past teaches us valuable lessons about resilience. Communities that have thrived learn to respect their environment and make sustainable choices. As we face the challenges of today, these historical examples remind us of the importance of living in harmony with nature. As we explore various cultures, we find spiritual connections between nature and people. Indigenous traditions often emphasize harmony with the land, teaching sustainable practices that have persisted for generations. These wisdoms are crucial for our survival amid climate change. Urbanization presents both opportunities and challenges in our relationship with climate. Cities are often at the forefront of climate change, yet they also serve as hubs for innovation and sustainability. How we design urban environments can significantly impact our ecological footprint. The transition to a sustainable future requires collective action. Historical movements that brought about change often began with a small group advocating for awareness. Today, individuals and communities can inspire larger movements toward climate justice and environmental health. Climate history also teaches us about adaptation. Societies that thrived in unpredictable environments often did so by developing flexible systems. Whether through crop diversity or community cooperation, adaptability remains a vital lesson from our past. As we reflect on the past, we must also consider the role of technology in shaping our future. Innovations that harness natural energy sources could lead to a more sustainable relationship with the planet. This balance between progress and preservation is essential. Historical examples show that environmental crises often catalyze social change. Events like the Dust Bowl in the US not only transformed agricultural practices, but also prompted migration and led to policy changes aimed at environmental restoration. Lessons from these events remain relevant today. The interconnectedness of ecosystems reveals how human actions can have far-reaching consequences. Climate change does not recognize borders and affects communities worldwide. A global perspective is essential for addressing environmental issues facing humanity today. As we move forward, understanding our climate history offers hope. It illustrates that humans can adapt, innovate, and overcome challenges. Acknowledging our past empowers us to forge a more sustainable future, embracing the lessons learned from our shared experiences. The cultural narratives surrounding climate and nature also influence our responses. Myths, legends, and stories often encapsulate humanity's struggle and triumph over environmental challenges. These narratives remind us of our shared responsibility toward the Earth. Through education, we empower future generations to learn from the past. By integrating climate education into curricula, we can nurture a sense of stewardship among young people. This sense of responsibility is crucial for fostering a sustainable future. As we face unprecedented changes, fostering a sense of community becomes increasingly vital. Collaborative efforts can create solutions that address climate challenges effectively. These partnerships can bridge gaps and create a collective vision for a sustainable future. In the realm of policy, historical examples show us the power of legislation to effect change. The establishment of protected areas and environmental regulations often stems from public demand for action. Advocacy remains a critical component of our environmental journey. The diversity of life on Earth is a testament to nature's resilience and adaptability. Protecting biodiversity is crucial for maintaining ecological balance. As climate change threatens many species, human actions can either support or hinder these natural systems. Art and culture play a significant role in shaping our understanding of climate and history. Artists often capture the beauty of nature and the impact of climate change through their work. This creative expression inspires awareness and encourages action. The relationship between climate and history is not linear. It is a complex web of interactions. Each region has its own story influenced by local climates and cultures. Understanding these diverse narratives enriches our global perspective. As we look at the future, it's essential to acknowledge the role of technology. Innovations in renewable energy and sustainable practices can help mitigate climate change. Harnessing human ingenuity could lead to a more balanced relationship with our planet. In conclusion, each epoch in history reflects humanity's ongoing dialogue with nature. Recognizing the dependence we have on our environment inspires a sense of stewardship. The stories of our past guide us as we seek to cultivate a sustainable future. As we explore the intricate relationship between climate and our history, let us remain mindful of the lessons learned and the challenges ahead. Together, we can shape a future that honors our planet, guided by the wisdom of those who came before us. Thank you for being part of this journey. Throughout history, the climate has dictated where civilizations could thrive. From the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, nourished by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, to the vast deserts that shaped the lifestyles of nomadic tribes, geography and climate have been pivotal. These natural elements influenced not just agriculture, but the very foundations of societies. As we move into the eras of the Greeks and Romans, we see how climate patterns affected expansion and trade. Favorable weather allowed for rich harvests, but also brought challenges like droughts that could decimate crops. Understanding these patterns was essential for their agricultural and military strategies. The Little Ice Age, spanning from the 14th to the 19th century, notably impacted Europe. Harsh winters led to poor harvests, resulting in famine and social unrest. This period teaches us how interconnected climate and societal stability truly are, highlighting the fragility of human existence. During this time, the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317 serves as a stark reminder of climate's role in history. Excessive rains ruined crops, leading to starvation across much of Europe. This event catalyzed changes in political structures and fueled the rise of social movements. The impact of climate is not limited to Europe. It has also shaped the histories of civilizations globally. For instance, the Maya civilization faced significant challenges from prolonged droughts. Their experience underscores the essential relationship between water resources and societal development. In contrast, the flourishing of the Maya during periods of favorable climate illustrates resilience and adaptation. They developed complex irrigation systems, showcasing their innovative spirit. Such advancements highlight how civilizations have historically navigated the challenges posed by their environments. The interaction between climate and human history extends to the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. The warming climate allowed for agricultural prosperity, which supported a growing population. However, as climatic conditions fluctuated, the empire faced challenges that contributed to its eventual decline. As we delve deeper into the past, we see that human migration has often been driven by climate change. The movement of peoples in response to changing environmental conditions has shaped cultures and histories worldwide, as seen in the migrations sparked by the last ice age. The impact of these migrations can be observed in Asia as well. The Mongol Empire, for instance, thrived in the 13th century due in part to favorable weather conditions that enabled their horse-based culture to expand across vast territories. However, as the climate shifted, even the mightiest empires were forced to adapt or face decline. The Mongol Empire's eventual fragmentation serves as a reminder that no civilization is invulnerable to the whims of nature. In the Americas, the ancestral Puebloans faced similar challenges. As climate patterns changed, they adapted through intricate architectural designs and farming techniques. Their legacy exemplifies the resilience of human ingenuity in the face of environmental adversity. The lessons we draw from history show us that climate change has a long-standing impact on human civilization. The past offers insights into how we can innovate and adapt to current and future challenges, emphasizing the importance of sustainable practices. As we reflect on these narratives, it's clear that every culture has faced its unique climate-related challenges. From agriculture to architecture, communities have crafted solutions that often resonate with our modern struggles against climate change today. Furthermore, the stories we share about climate and history remind us of our connection to the Earth. Indigenous cultures around the world have long understood the importance of living in harmony with nature, emphasizing balance and sustainability. The teachings of these cultures resonate today, urging us to prioritize our relationship with the planet. Many societies have thrived by respecting natural laws, demonstrating that sustainable living is indeed possible and beneficial for both people and the environment. As we continue through this journey, it's essential to remember that our climate has influenced human creativity and adaptability. From art to technology, each cultural expression reflects the environment in which it was born, vividly demonstrating this interconnectedness. The art and literature of civilizations often mirror their environmental realities. For instance, the epic poetry of ancient cultures frequently references the struggles brought by climate, illustrating how deeply intertwined our stories are with our surroundings. We also see how climate has shaped conflict and cooperation among nations. From resource scarcity to collaborative environmental efforts, the history of human interaction is significantly influenced by the climate's ebbs and flows. The story of the Dust Bowl in the 1930s America exemplifies how human activity can exacerbate natural conditions. Poor farming practices, combined with severe drought, led to devastating consequences, highlighting the need for stewardship of our land. In response to the Dust Bowl, innovative agricultural practices emerged. Farmers learned to adopt crop rotation and conservation techniques, demonstrating humanity's capacity to adapt to environmental challenges through ingenuity and perseverance. The lessons learned from the Dust Bowl continue to inform modern agricultural practices. As we face new climate challenges, revisiting these historical experiences can inspire future solutions and promote resilience in our communities. In examining our history, we find numerous examples of how climate has shaped not just economies, but entire ways of life. The traditions of fishing communities, for instance, reveal how the health of ocean ecosystems directly influences cultural practices and livelihoods. The reliance on natural resources has driven innovation in countless societies. Many indigenous cultures, for example, have developed sustainable fishing and hunting techniques that respect nature's cycles, allowing them to thrive in harmony with their environments. As we draw connections between climate and history, it's vital to recognize how technological advancements were often responses to environmental challenges. The invention of the plow, for example, revolutionized agriculture, allowing civilizations to adapt to changing landscapes. This spirit of innovation continues today, where modern technology seeks to address climate change through renewable energy solutions. From solar power to wind energy, humanity's quest for sustainable energy reflects our deep understanding of the need for harmony with nature. As we move forward, it's essential to embrace the lessons of the past. The choices made by our ancestors in response to climate challenges serve as a guide for how we can address our current environmental crises and move towards a sustainable future. The interplay between climate and human history reminds us that we are stewards of our planet. As we explore the past, we must consider how our actions today will impact future generations, fostering a culture of care and responsibility towards the Earth. In this moment of reflection, we find hope in the resilience of humanity. The stories of adaptation and survival that have emerged throughout history reinforce the belief that we can navigate the complexities of climate change together. As we consider the future, we must also remember that our past is filled with narratives of both struggle and success. Each chapter of history reminds us that while we face challenges, we also possess the creativity and determination to overcome them. The transition to a sustainable future requires understanding the lessons embedded in our history. The past not only informs our present actions, but also inspires innovative paths toward a harmonious coexistence with nature. In the contemporary world, climate change poses both unprecedented challenges and opportunities. The urgency of our current situation may serve as a catalyst for collective action, reminiscent of historical movements that brought about meaningful change. We can draw parallels between past environmental movements and today's climate activism. The voices of those who fought for environmental justice historically inspire current generations to take a stand in protecting our planet. In examining the historical context of climate movements, we find that communities often unite in times of crisis. The collective response to environmental degradation exemplifies the strength of human solidarity and the power of collaboration. The role of education in shaping our understanding of climate and history is paramount. By teaching future generations about the past, we empower them to make informed decisions and foster a commitment to sustainability. As we weave together the narratives of history and climate, we find a rich tapestry of human experience. Each thread, whether of triumph or trial, contributes to the story of our shared existence on this planet. The dialogues surrounding climate and history encourage us to think critically about our past actions. Engaging with these narratives helps us to understand not only our mistakes, but also the successful adaptations that offer hope for the future. As we reflect on the urgency of climate action, it becomes clear that history must inform our strategies. The experiences of those who faced climate challenges before us can guide a more effective approach to contemporary issues. The importance of preserving our environment for future generations is a theme echoed throughout history. Many cultures have left behind legacies of environmental stewardship that we can learn from as we navigate the challenges of today. The synthesis of climate and history also reveals a path forward. By embracing the lessons of our ancestors, we can create a more resilient society that acknowledges the intrinsic value of our natural world. Furthermore, The integration of indigenous knowledge into modern environmental practices offers a comprehensive approach to sustainability. These traditional perspectives can significantly enhance our understanding of ecological balance. In every corner of the globe, communities are rising to the challenge of climate change. The innovation and determination displayed by individuals and groups remind us that collective action can lead to remarkable transformations in our environment. As we delve deeper into our shared history, we uncover the resilience that has allowed humanity to adapt over centuries. This resilience is not merely a response to adversity, but a testament to our shared spirit of survival and cooperation. Through collaboration, we have the power to innovate solutions to the pressing issues of climate change. Each act of cooperation can build a bridge towards a more sustainable future, rooted in the lessons learned from our past. In the face of climate challenges, it is essential to remain hopeful. The ability to adapt and thrive, demonstrated throughout history, fuels our belief that positive change is not just possible but within our grasp. As we wrap up this segment of our exploration, we are reminded of the importance of listening to the lessons of history. Embracing the wisdom of the past can guide us towards a more sustainable and harmonious future with our planet. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we hope you feel inspired to reflect on your connection to nature. The impact of climate on human history is not merely a backdrop, it actively shapes civilizations. As early as the Neolithic period, changes in climate influenced where communities chose to settle. Access to water and fertile land dictated the growth of agriculture, which in turn laid the foundation for societies to flourish. Consider the rise of the Egyptian civilization, deeply intertwined with the Nile River's annual flooding. This natural phenomenon provided rich silt for agriculture, allowing the society to thrive. Yet, deviations in this pattern due to climate fluctuations could spell disaster for crops and livelihoods. Similarly, the Mesoamerican cultures, including the Maya, relied on seasonal rains. Their advanced agricultural techniques were finely tuned to predict these weather patterns. However, prolonged droughts led to crop failures, demonstrating their vulnerability to the climate's whims. The Little Ice Age, a period from the 14th to the 19th century, dramatically affected global climates, particularly in Europe. Harsh winters and shorter growing seasons led to food shortages and economic turmoil. This climatic shift altered social structures and even contributed to major conflicts. In contrast, the medieval warm period allowed for agricultural expansion in Northern Europe. This era saw improved temperatures that boosted crop production, contributing to population growth and urban development. Such fluctuations remind us that climate can be both a friend and foe. Our planet's climate has also shaped migration patterns. The forced migration of populations due to drought or famine has been a recurrent theme throughout history. In the case of the Irish potato famine, a crop failure caused by blight led to mass emigration, altering the cultural landscape of the world. As we examine the interconnectedness of climate and history, it becomes evident that natural disasters have also played a pivotal role. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD not only buried Pompeii, but changed trade routes and societal dynamics in ancient Rome. Moreover, the aftermath of such events often leads to innovation and adaptation. Civilizations have learned to engineer their environments, building levees, irrigation systems, and even adjusting their agricultural practices to mitigate the impact of adverse climate conditions. In modern times, the recognition of climate's role in shaping historical events has led to a deeper understanding of our current environmental crises. Historians and scientists alike emphasize the need for resilience as we face unprecedented climate challenges today. As we continue to navigate the complexities of climate change, we must consider the lessons of the past. The resilience displayed by historical populations offers a blueprint for how we might respond to our current environmental challenges, fostering hope for future generations. With each shift in climate, societies have had to adapt, innovate, and sometimes even reinvent themselves. The story of the American West, for instance, reveals how settlers navigated the treacherous climate of the plains, changing their lifestyles to survive. In the Arctic regions, indigenous cultures have thrived for centuries by learning to harmonize with their environment. Their traditional knowledge of climate patterns and sustainable practices is invaluable in the face of contemporary climate shifts. As we explore further, the narrative of humanity reveals a pattern of resilience shaped by climate. The case of the ancient Greeks illustrates how they adapted their agricultural practices to the Mediterranean climate, fostering advancements in philosophy and science. The very ecosystems that nurtured early civilizations have also been challenged by their growth. Deforestation and resource depletion are historical narratives intertwined with human expansion, emphasizing the need for balance between progress and preservation. In conclusion of this segment, every event in our shared history reflects the complex interplay between humanity and nature. By understanding these links, we can better appreciate our place in the world and the responsibilities we hold towards our environment. The journey continues as we reflect on these connections. As we further explore the intricate relationship between climate and history, let's consider the impact of the Little Ice Age, a period that began in the late 13th century. This climatic downturn caused drastic shifts in agricultural production across Europe, leading to food shortages and social upheaval. The cooler temperatures led to the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317, where crop failures devastated communities. Millions faced starvation and societal structures began to crumble under the stresses of survival, showcasing how climate can shift the course of human history. In contrast, warmer climatic periods, such as the medieval warm period, saw the expansion of agriculture in Europe. This era allowed for the cultivation of previously inhospitable lands, thus contributing to population growth and increased trade. As we journey further back in time, the changes in climate played a significant role in shaping the civilizations of ancient Mesopotamia. The transition from the wetter conditions of the early Holocene to the arid climate we recognize today forced societies to adapt in remarkable ways. The emergence of agriculture in Mesopotamia was not merely an innovation of human ingenuity. It was also a response to changing environmental conditions. The development of irrigation techniques allowed these early societies to thrive despite the increasingly dry climate. Civilizations, such as the Akkadians and Babylonians, expanded their influence thanks to these agricultural advancements. However, their reliance on climate stability also made them vulnerable to changes, as we saw with the collapse of the Akkadian Empire due to prolonged drought. Similarly, the ancient Maya civilization faced significant challenges due to climate fluctuations. A series of severe droughts in the 9th century contributed to their societal decline, emphasizing the fragility of human existence in the face of nature's unpredictability. Yet, it wasn't solely droughts that shaped civilizations. In some regions, such as the Nile Valley, predictable seasonal flooding provided fertile soil that enabled agriculture to flourish for millennia, showcasing how nature can also support human progress. The ancient Egyptians harnessed the Nile's annual inundation, developing sophisticated irrigation techniques and calendar systems to maximize their agricultural output. This mastery of their environment allowed them to build one of the most enduring civilizations in history. As we explore these connections, we see that environmental conditions have often dictated the rise and fall of empires. The Romans, for instance, thrived in a warm climate that supported vast agricultural production, enabling their expansion across Europe. However, as climate patterns shifted, particularly with the onset of colder periods, the Roman Empire faced challenges that contributed to its eventual decline. Food shortages, caused by poor harvests during these harsh winters, weakened their military and economy. Equally, the Viking Age was significantly influenced by climate. The medieval warm period allowed Norse explorers to venture further into new territories, including Greenland and North America, during a time when agriculture flourished in these regions. However, the onset of cooler climate conditions in the 14th century made these areas less hospitable. As a result, many Vikings faced hardships that led to the abandonment of their settlements in Greenland, underscoring the impact of climate on human migration. Through these examples, we understand that climate acts as both a catalyst and a hindrance in human development. The relationship is complex, as civilizations adapt and respond to environmental challenges while also striving for progress. In the present day, the legacy of these historical events remains relevant. As climate change accelerates, we find ourselves at a critical juncture, facing challenges that echo those faced by our ancestors in their struggles with the environment. Learning from history, it becomes clear that our responses to environmental changes can either lead to our downfall or our triumph. The lessons of the past remind us to consider sustainable practices in our modern world. As we reflect on these historical narratives, we see that climate not only shapes our past, but also our future. The stories of adaptation, resilience, and innovation offer a roadmap for navigating the challenges that lie ahead. Ultimately, history serves as a guide, showcasing the consequences of ignoring our environment. The echoes of past civilizations remind us of the necessity to value and protect our planet for future generations. As we continue to unpack this narrative, consider how our present actions may pave the way for future historical accounts. Each decision we make today contributes to the unfolding story of humanity and its environment. In this ongoing journey, it's essential to engage with the lessons of the past and apply them to our current environmental challenges. By understanding the interplay of climate and history, we can foster a deeper connection with nature. The next segment of our exploration shifts focus to how specific environmental events, like volcanic eruptions or earthquakes, have spurred societal changes throughout history. These natural phenomena often had profound impacts on human behavior and development. Take, for example, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, which buried the Roman city of Pompeii under ash. This catastrophic event preserved a snapshot of Roman life and serves as a reminder of nature's unpredictability. In a different context, the 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia led to what is known as the Year Without a Summer. The resulting climate abnormalities caused crop failures across the globe and even influenced the literary landscape with the creation of Frankenstein. By exploring these events, we uncover that natural disasters can have far-reaching consequences, reshaping societies in ways that extend beyond immediate devastation. They often catalyze innovation and adaptation. In the aftermath, in addition, earthquakes have played a crucial role in shaping civilizations. The destruction of cities, like the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, forced communities to rethink urban planning and disaster preparedness, leading to advances in engineering and architecture. These moments in history reflect humanity's resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. They serve as powerful examples of how crises can lead to significant advancements in societal structures and technologies. As we delve deeper, we find that climate patterns also influence migration and trade routes. The Silk Road, for instance, flourished during periods of climatic stability, connecting distant cultures and enabling the exchange of ideas and goods. Conversely, periods of climatic upheaval, such as the Dust Bowl in the 1930s, triggered mass migrations as people sought more hospitable environments. These movements reshaped demographics and communities across the United States. These examples illustrate that our history is not merely a collection of events, but a tapestry woven from the threads of human experience and environmental conditions. Each thread tells a story of adaptation, struggle, and survival. As we move forward, let's consider the role of climate in shaping modern conflicts. Competition for resources, exacerbated by climate change, has led to tensions and instability in various regions around the world, linking environmental challenges to geopolitical dynamics. History teaches us that crises often catalyze change. The Arab Spring, for example, was fueled in part by rising food prices, driven by drought and economic instability, showcasing the intricate links between climate and social movements. In this ongoing narrative, we must remain mindful of how climate will continue to shape our future. The lessons learned from the past can empower us to forge pathways towards sustainability and resilience, ensuring a brighter future for generations to come. As we approach the end of this segment, let us reflect on the wisdom embedded in our history. Each era, each event is a reminder of our connection to nature, urging us to act responsibly in the face of ongoing environmental challenges. The thread of climate and history continues to weave through our present, asking us to consider how we can learn from our predecessors. The choices we make today will echo through time, shaping the course of future generations. In our final reflections, we can appreciate that history is not merely a record of events, but a narrative that invites us to engage with the world around us. Nature's influence on humanity teaches us the importance of coexistence and respect for our environment. As we conclude this segment, we hope you have found peace and knowledge in our journey through climate and history. Join us in our next exploration, where we will uncover more connections between the past and present as we continue this journey together.